Caitlin Clark seems to have re-injured her groin.
I still can't get over what went down yesterday. Caitlin Clark, easily the biggest star in women's basketball, could end up missing the All-Star game because of a controversial play. And the player involved? JCS Sheldon. Keep that name in mind. After this, she might become one of the most disliked figures in the WNBA, possibly derailing Caitlin's entire All-Star weekend. For those who missed it, yesterday's game was Indiana Fever versus the Connecticut Sun.
Every time the Indiana Fever plays the Connecticut Sun, it is a very, very physical game.
Let me remind you, Caitlin has been through a lot this season. She recently recovered from a groin injury, and fans were finally starting to feel at ease. But then JCS Sheldon entered the picture. In just a split second, a reckless play left many fans calling it dirty. Now, there's concern Caitlin's groin might be injured once again.
Clearly, she suffered an injury of some sort. Clearly, it was to the groin.
Let me break down exactly what happened. And trust me, you'll have an opinion on this. So, with about 2.5 minutes left in the game, Caitlin Clark took a direct hit to the groin from JCS Sheldon. Whether or not you believe it was intentional doesn't really change the fact that it caused Caitlin pain. Period. Now, let's be real. This wasn't some WWE-style attack. Sheldon didn't lunge or deliver a deliberate kick. But if you watch the footage closely, you can see her grabbing the inside of that right leg.
Grab the inside of that right leg. Yeah, she kind of pull up. A little bit of a jerk motion to stop her momentum.
Sheldon lifted her leg, and it connected squarely with Caitlin's left groin. Plain and simple. Yet, the referees didn't call a foul, and that's when fans really lost it. How can extending your leg and making contact like that not be considered a foul? Even if it wasn't flagrant or clearly intentional, it's still a foul. But despite the hit, Caitlin tried to push through. She kept playing. Think about it. Caitlin Clark, someone who's built her career powering through pressure, spotlight, and injuries, was suddenly showing real signs of discomfort on the court. Not just discomfort, actual pain. Yet she stayed in the game and even nailed a clutch three-pointer right afterward. But that wasn't the end of it. Fast forward to the final minute of the fourth quarter. Caitlin passed the ball to Kelsey Mitchell, began running back down the court, and then it happened again. She reached down, this time clutching her right groin.
Looks like she's in pain after that pass.
This moment was confusing because her previous injury was on the left side. But no matter which side was hurting, one thing was obvious. She was not okay. And now, there's an image burned into the minds of fans. Caitlin slowly walking down the court, holding her groin, clearly fighting back tears. She stops at the basket support, leans against it, presses her head down, and it's clear she's breaking down. Keep in mind, this is Caitlin Clark, a player known for holding it together even after tough losses, including the national championship game. Someone who keeps pushing no matter how tough things get. For her to break down like that, you know it's serious.
She can't guard you! She can't guard you! Oh! Oh!
What makes this even tougher is the string of injuries piling up this season. Back in college, she was practically ironclad, hardly ever sidelined. But this WNBA season, she's already dealt with a quad injury.
And then wonder why Caitlin Clark started off bad. Look at, that's a foul on the Fever. How? But look at this. That's not a foul on the Storm.
There have been so many soft tissue injuries for her this season that fans are starting to wonder, is Caitlin Clark being overplayed? Is she being pushed too hard? Is the Indiana Fever medical staff handling things properly? And most importantly, why was she even on the court when the game was practically decided? But it gets even more concerning. Sources suggest Caitlin might have already been dealing with an injury going into that game. So the big question is, did that initial hit from Sheldon worsen a pre-existing condition? Was she playing hurt? Maybe the medical team told her, it won't get worse if you play, but it also won't heal until the offseason. Maybe she's trying to push through it, carrying a franchise that relies on her completely, but watching Caitlin Clark break down on the sidelines, that's not something fans, teammates, or even the team staff want to see. At that moment, it wasn't about stats, ratings, or rivalries. It was about a 23-year-old athlete exhausted and in pain, breaking down in front of thousands of cameras. Honestly, it was heartbreaking. And to make things worse, the refereeing last night was a complete disaster. As if Caitlin's injury wasn't enough, the officials' performance took things to another level of chaos.
The referee situation in this league is unimaginable. It's an abomination.
This isn't new. Caitlin Clark has been facing heavy physical challenges for over a year now, and the referees keep letting it happen repeatedly. What's even more frustrating is that just weeks ago, Kathy Engelbert looked the media straight in the eye and said, "The officiating is fine." Really? Because what we saw last night was far from fine. It was the WNBA's biggest star being physically worn down on national TV while the referees turned a blind eye. Now, fans are walking away, her own family is speaking out, and even sponsors are getting nervous. The hard truth? People aren't tuning in just for WNBA basketball. They're tuning in for Caitlin Clark. And right now, they're watching her get pushed to the brink by the very league that's supposed to protect her. Caitlin Clark's all-star dream is now at serious risk. And here's where things get even more frustrating.
The WNBA All-Star Game is, of course, in Indianapolis, the home of the Indiana Fever, the home of Caitlin Clark. And now it looks like Caitlin Clark, most likely, I can't imagine that Caitlin Clark will be participating in the three-point contest or the All-Star Game.
Perhaps Caitlin Clark's injury isn't just an unfortunate incident, but rather a sign of deeper, more troubling issues within the WNBA. The league's biggest star, her team's leader, and the driving force behind this All-Star Weekend's buzz in Indianapolis might not even take the court. And that's not speculation. It's a real possibility. Last night's injury wasn't just a minor strain. The look on her face, as she held her groin, said it all. This was more than physical pain. It was emotional exhaustion from battling one injury after another during her rookie season. It's hard not to call this situation shameful. At this point, it seems almost certain she won't play on Wednesday, and even her participation in the All-Star Game feels like a long shot. What's more concerning is if the Indiana Fever decides to put her on the court for even a brief stretch tonight. It wouldn't just be a poor choice. It would reflect badly on the entire league. This isn't just about a single game. It's about protecting the WNBA's biggest star before something irreversible happens. And this isn't the first injury Caitlin has faced this season.
Please welcome to the floor, ladies and members of the Big Shine Squad. Let's make some noise for Caitlin Clark. She can't guard you. She can't guard you. Oh! 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 Oh!
What does this indicate? There's been a mechanical or physical issue affecting Caitlin Clark throughout the season. Something just isn't clicking right.
You have to hope for the best with...
Although fans hope this will be Caitlin's final injury, the reality suggests otherwise. Unfortunately, groin injuries are far from simple. They're notoriously difficult to heal. They tend to persist, and even more concerning, can contribute to more serious problems down the line.
I originally thought that they were going to keep her out through All-Star, as heartbreaking as that would be. Like, just don't even let her play in the All-Star game, because groins are something that are just so finicky, but they're also things that can lead to bigger injuries.
Caitlin returned to the court just 2 weeks after her previous injury. While some expected she'd sit out until All-Star Weekend, she was rushed back into play, probably too early. Now we're faced with the consequences. So, who's responsible for this? Let's be honest. Does Caitlin have the right support system around her? That question is starting to raise doubts. With the Fever's medical team managing her recovery, many fans are wondering if it's truly enough. Caitlin represents an immense investment for the WNBA, practically worth billions. If her current care isn't cutting it, she might need to take a page from legends like Kobe Bryant, seek advanced treatments abroad, hire specialized medical experts, and prioritize protecting her career above all else. Because if this pattern continues, we could be looking at a career-threatening situation, and that's something no one in the league, including Caitlin and her fans, can afford.
Well, Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA, well, they have effed around, and now they're about to find out.
The real heartbreak is that this All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Caitlin's time to shine, her celebration. Instead, It's now clouded by worry and doubt. At the end of the day, who's paying the biggest price? Whether it's due to poor scheduling, questionable officiating, or an overstretched medical team, it's Caitlin who's suffering most. If these injuries keep coming, the WNBA will feel the impact too. Losing her would be a huge blow the league simply can't afford. If you agree it's time for the league to step up and give Caitlin the protection she deserves, drop a Protect CC in the comments. For more updates on WNBA drama and news, don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Catch you next time.